But first, we're going to jump in to the housing market update. This is my favorite part of the week.
All right. Well, let me get you, Jim.
Rachel's got the numbers. Who's buying? Who's selling? What's hot on the block? Get update. Hey!
All right, guys. Obviously, this is my very favorite part of the week. I get to talk about the love of my life, residential real estate. So this is going to be Tuesday, last Tuesday through this Tuesday. I do encompass some 30-day numbers. And then I want to really encourage you to go to hardinlocal.com. There is a housing market update there where you can actually see the trends over, it dates all the way back to January 1st. So if you want to see actually how the graphs are moving, make sure to go to hardinlocal.com. All right, as of course, I'm Rachel Brantingham, and each week we go beyond the headlines to explain what the Hardin County housing market is doing, and more importantly, what it means for your family, your investments, and your next move. So after a slow stretch, I know we've had a couple weeks here where things have been awfully slow, right? And we kept saying we expect to see a pickup before we head back to school and then into the holidays. And that is exactly what we're seeing. So we're seeing renewed energy in the Hardin County housing market. Showing activity has increased significantly. We've even experienced some multiple offer situations on well-priced homes. I personally had one that's been on the market for a little over 30 days, and we received 2 offers within 24 hours. We were able to negotiate from a position of power. But buyers are moving with confidence when they believe that they are getting the right value. It's a very healthy market condition, and nothing crazy. However, it is encouraging because I expected to see this after July 4th, and it's doing exactly what I expected. This week in Hardin County, the market snapshot, 37 new listings, 15 homes went under contract, 20 homes have closed. So 20 families moved into their new homes. That leaves us with 412 active listings. That's actually down from last week, even though we had 37 new listings hit the market. 104 homes sold over the last 30 days, with 80 days as the average days on market. The average list price came in at $349,079. The average sold price was $310,828. I will let you know that that gap is actually widened a bit in comparison to what we saw pre-July 4th. So we're starting to see buyers kind of negotiating harder to get a better deal on their purchase. And so that gap is actually widened a bit, with the median sold price actually reducing down to $287,500, which is about as low as I remember seeing all year long. Okay. With 412 active homes and 104 homes sold in the last 30 days, that puts us at 4 months of inventory on the market. It's very balanced. It's probably leaning a bit more buyer heavy. And so it's a bit more of a buyer's market in comparison to a seller's market. While prices softened slightly this week, inventory has declined again, as I mentioned, suggesting that we're seeing normal seasonal movement rather than any major shift in the health of the market. So, kind of jumping down here a bit, I want to talk a little bit about the different markets inside of Hardin County. So we have like our big market, but it's segmented into kind of some different price points. So knowing these price points is going to make you as a buyer and or a seller more knowledgeable as to how you want to position your property. Okay, under 250,000. Keeping in mind that the median sold price in Hardin County is 287,500. Under 250,000 obviously caters to the largest amount of buyers. There are 93 active listings, 38 homes sold in the last 30 days, putting us at 2.4 months of inventory. This is heavily a seller's market. So if you have a listing in that price point, or if you are a buyer, what you need to know as a seller, if you strategically stage it and have it ready and the condition is good and you price it appropriately, it shouldn't last very long on the market. However, if you're a buyer and you find the perfect listing that is staged right, priced right, be aggressive, because those homes are moving quickly. 250 to 400,000, there are 202 active listings, 50 homes sold in the last 30 days, leaving us at 4 months of inventory. So that's very much your standard. It's actually trending just a bit buyer market. So if you're a seller, you want to be very cautious about condition. You want to price it correctly. And if you are a buyer, there's a bit more negotiating room to get repair, closing costs, rate buy down, things like that. Between 4 and 600,000, there are 90 active listings, 10 homes sold over the last 30 days. This price point seems to, for whatever reason, be really stalled out. It's very slow right now, with almost 9 months of inventory. So that is significantly buyer friendly. So if you're a buyer purchasing in this price point, now I will be monitoring this category closely next week to see if this picks up, if it was just kind of a fluke. But very interesting because as we move forward, between 6 and 800,000, we had 19 active listings, 8 homes sold in the last 30 days, 2.4 months of inventory. So if you're thinking about selling and you think you fall somewhere in that range, excellent time to sell. If you're a buyer in that range, probably going to have to compete a bit, which is what I noticed. The listing that went into multiple offer situation was listed at 899,000, and it was like all of a sudden things started moving really quickly. Over 800,000, we have 9 active listings in Hardin County, 0 homes sold in the last 30 days. Luxury is a very unique market of its own. It's not to be compared to anything else here on the table. And like, next week, my father's parade home, it will be closing and the new family moving into it. So it's kind of ever shifting. I know 2 weeks ago, we had closings that we were able to map inside that, and I think we were at 7 months of inventory. So it's just an ever-changing market. Obviously, presentation and pricing are super, super important. I wanted to talk a little bit about a rate buy down. So obviously, interest rates are sitting in the high sixes for conventional, lower sixes for FHA, VA, USDA. Here's what rate buy downs do for you rather than a price reduction. So a price reduction obviously impacts your overall purchase price, and it will minutely adjust your payment every month. But a rate buy down can actually impact that payment by hundreds of dollars, depending on the amount that they buy that rate down. So basically, they are paying interest in on your behalf up front, and it's reducing those rates for X amount of time. Okay. So rate buy downs can be confusing. If it's something that you are like interested in and want more information on, I would highly recommend that you speak to your local lender and or real estate professional. They could give you more information. That's kind of the housing market expert would definitely encourage you if you are choosing between negotiating a lower price and a rate buy down, you're going to benefit more in the long term from a rate buy down. What I'm watching this week, I'm watching buyer confidence. The increase in showings and the return of multiple offer situations tells me buyers are becoming more active after the summer holiday season. The next question is how long will that momentum continue through back to school? And I hope it carries into the fall market. And if it does, August could become one of our strongest months of the year. This week's market call, the buyers are back, but they are rewarding the sellers who are prepared. In today's market, success doesn't happen by accident. It happens through thoughtful pricing. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm getting over a summer cold. Exceptional presentation, strategic marketing, and strong financing. That is my housing market update.
Rachel's got the numbers. Who's buying? Who's selling? What's hot on the block? Hardin County house market update. Hey!
All right, Steve. Please forgive me. My throat made it through all of that, and it is acting up. Let me grab a drink of water.
Take your time. You did well so far.
Yes,
you made it almost through.
Did great. And you can also go to hardinlocal.com and click on real estate and then click on our housing market portal. It gives all the stats and data you can't get. And we added an extra page. So if you scroll down to the bottom of that page, you can click show more data and buy time frame.